Hello, welcome to Cajun Prairie Knits. My name is Kim and it is May 25th, 2016. And you can find me on Ravelry as Jane Austen and on Instagram as jaustin1775. And let's see, I have some knitting and a little bit of spinning and a little bit of mail to talk about today. And I did not finish anything, so which is not unusual. But it's been a pretty good 2 weeks. Actually, can't remember anything that happened. Must not have been anything too exciting. So let's see. Get into the knitting, I guess. So the thing I worked on the most, no surprise, is my Breathing Space by Vera Valimaki. And I am knitting that out of Tosh Merino Light in Tanglewood. And the Verdant Griffin. I had the tag somewhere. Here it is. Eidos in this Poesis. That is how you say it. And it, well, now I forgot. Greek, ancient Greek for poem or poetry. So, and that looks like this. There you go. I am back in the house today. I was going to go back outside because I always feel more myself when I'm outside. And that was very enjoyable to be out there filming, but it's really windy today, so oh well. So here is my breathing space, and let's see, this is the front, and I'm getting pretty far. Let's see, yeah. I did all the waist shaping, and I had stopped doing the other side where you increase. I had quit doing that earlier. So now I'm just going round and round with the stripes. I am slightly confused again with the pattern. It doesn't, I can't figure out how many stripes I'm supposed to do before I start. At the bottom, it's going to have a band of just the green color again. And it was quite confusing to me as to how many more stripes to do. I read it 3 or 4 times and I don't understand. So I basically looked at, hey bud, you came back in? Hi. Yes. Chocolate boy. The dogs came back in. Come see Christy. Oh. So yeah, I couldn't figure out how many stripes to do, so I sort of counted them on the picture, which is the size, one size bigger than the one I'm doing, and it looked like there were maybe 17 or 18 stripes from starting with the short row part down. And then I know how long it's supposed to be total, and then I was trying to look at the picture and guess how many inches the green part is at the bottom. And anyway, I'm just going to a certain amount, and then I'm just gonna make it have the green part be about 3.5 to 4 inches at the bottom. So I think that looks like the right proportion. So that's what I'm going with. It's not really that important. I couldn't figure out how you were supposed to do it, so that's how I'm doing it. And I did try it on again to see, and it fits. I think it's gonna be good. So I'm really excited about that. I'm ready to get the body done so I can work on the sleeves and then really see if it fits. So that's the only part I'm a little bit worried about. How this t-shirt is a little tight right here. That's that's kind of how it fits. It didn't bother me, but where you going, girl? Yeah, we're not sleeping up there. So yeah. And then I got in the mail. I ordered the 24-inch size twos to do the ribbing at the bottom. It's a 3 millimeter tube, not a 3.75. And they didn't have I needed the same, the twos and a DPN, and Knitpicks didn't have it separately, or at least I didn't see. I think they were out, so I got the little set of the Sunstruck ones. Ooh. And they go from a 2 millimeter to a 3.25, or a US 0 to a US 3, with 2 sizes of US 1s and 2 sizes of US 2s. So that's cool. That should come in handy if I, keep doing fingering weight sweaters, which I am enjoying making. So I think I will make some more of those. Okay, the next two things are both new projects. I had talked a little bit about making a shawl for my mom, and I went ahead and decided what I was going to make and started that. And I decided to go with the Lethal Adventure Knitting 2, the Mysterious Trunk. I decided to go with that. It has a lot of shawl options in that one, and I really enjoyed that knit along. It was great. So it's not really a pattern. It's sort of well, it's choose your own adventure. There's all different types of things you can make. You can make different shaped shawls or scarves or cowls. I made 2 cowls whenever I first did it, and then, but this time I'm gonna make a triangular shawl, and then so you pick your shape, and then you can use any kind of yarn, any gauge, and then there's all these different stitch patterns that you can plug into it, and use as many as you want, or as few as you want. Use them over and over, or however you want to do it. And they're based off of there's all the zodiac signs, and then like the sun and the moon and other astrology type, Jupiter and astrology, both type of things that the stitch patterns are named after. So I am going to do all the stitch patterns for everybody in my family in my mom's shawl. And then also, I think I already did the sun, and I'll probably put the moon in there, and then whatever I need, filler ones that I need to do. So let's see. So the shawl, I am using Knitpicks City Tweed DK. And I had 2 skeins in this enchanted color, which is really pretty, kind of turquoise teal, and it's, tweedy. You want to get up here, huh? Okay, let's see. Here, sleep right there. Not on the knitting. There we go. Okay, sleeping on the table. So yeah, so I had 2 of these, they're 50 grams. So that wasn't enough. So I ordered 3 more. So I have 5. And I also ordered one contrasting color, which is Orca, which is a gray. And I think they look really nice together. It'd be like a very subtle contrasting color. So there's a few of the stitch patterns that you can use 2 colors or 1. So I'm going to throw a couple in there with the 2 color. And yes, so the pattern, that's another project, is very, like I said, it's not just a single pattern. It's very long. It's a book, basically. So yeah, I have the ebook, but you can, in the back of it, it has pages you can print out and fold and make your own booklet for it, so you don't have to keep flipping back and forth. I don't really like flipping through digital, you know, since there's so many pages of different stitch patterns, and then I have to use my phone or, Anyway, I decided to make the little booklet. So this is what it looks like. And it's in color, but I printed it in black and white. And so yeah, it has all these instructions, and then the stitch patterns, which are charted and written, just example, are in the back section. And it folds, it lays flat, so you can keep it open and knit from it. And basically you print out all the pages. Let me take it. It's got a little book cover. So I'm going to take the book cover off. There's the little cover. You just fold and glue. And then you fold all these little separate pages. It's like an 8.5 by 11 normal sheet of paper in America. I think there's different sizes in other places, but that's what I printed it on. And shows you has a tutorial on how to fold all the pages, and then you bind them together. So like book binding, which I have read about, and I can't remember if I ever actually, it seems like I may have tried it before, but I'm not positive. Anyway, it was really fun, so I made a little booklet, and it stays together. So that was pretty cool. I do like doing paper crafts. I don't do them very often. I just don't have very much room to get all the stuff out and play with. So, yep, here's my little booklet. And this is the shawl. I just started it. So it's basically, you make it any size you want. You increase on one side, and the other side stays straight. So I'm going to increase until it gets to the size, half of the size I want, and then you decrease and go backwards. And I think I'm going to use the same, make it sort of symmetrical, where I don't even know if you can see the stitch pattern with the, yeah. Some of them are like lacy stitch patterns. This one has twisted stitches around the outside. That's the sun pattern. This one, which is probably hard to see, has some interesting slip stitch decreases. And these two are both sort of lacy. And some are more of just like a knit purl pattern. There's a lot of them with twisted stitches. And she has tutorials on how, they're very easy, like 1 over 1 or 1 over 2. And she shows you how to do all of that without cable needles or anything, and it's really easy. So yeah, that's fun. I only have one of our signs in there right now. There's a Virgo section right there for one of my brothers, and this is the sun. So then I have a few more. So I'm gonna, once I get all of us in there, if it's not big enough yet, then I will just add in some of the other stitch patterns until I get it the size I want, because she wants it fairly big to where it covers, like up to here when you wrap it around. So I'll see how that goes, and then I think I will just follow the same patterns backwards to the other, so that way I know it'll end up looking similar and yeah, symmetrical. So yeah, anyway, that's fun. I like this yarn, is really soft. I knitted a hat out of it. I don't remember, I showed it on maybe my first episode, first or second. So earlier this year, maybe January or something, I can't remember, but it was the split back snowflake hat. I used a red color, and it's soft right now, but it gets really soft after you wash it and block it. So yeah, and that yarn is 55% merino, 25% superfine alpaca, and 20% Donegal tweed. So there is that. And then the last project I have is a crochet project. It's already warm here. It's in the 80s. We did hit 90 a couple days already. So it's quite warm. Not as warm as it's going to be, but warm enough. So I had this linen yarn for years. I don't even know how long. Maybe, it could be 8 years, a long time. I was gonna knit my sister a tunic. It was an early Pearl Soho pattern out of it, and this was, I don't think I'd been knitting all that long, and so I ordered it. It was pre Ravelry days, so yeah, it's been a while. So I make it. Yeah, next year I think Ravelry will be 10, so definitely it was over 10 years. Wow, okay. So I tried knitting with this yarn and I did not enjoy it at all. So, if you've never knit with linen, this is the Euroflax linen. There's no give at all. It's just very, it's a plant fiber. So, yeah, that was not enjoyable for me personally to knit with. So I tried a couple of different things. I have like 3 or 4 skeins of it. And yeah, it didn't work. And then I crocheted a market bag out of it. And that was fine. I find I don't have a problem crocheting with cotton or linen. It's much easier on my hands than knitting with it. I'm not sure why. I guess I don't put as much attention on it whenever I'm crocheting. I'm not sure, but so I've been thinking about this yarn for years and trying to think of something to do with it. And I finally, since it was warm, I figure I would try something again. So I started looking at patterns and I thought, I could make maybe like a big shawl or scarf or wrap or something out of it since I have so much, and it would be crocheted instead of knitted. And I found a pattern called Garbo, like Greta Garbo, and I cannot remember who the designer is, but she has a bunch of crochet patterns named after like old Hollywood people. So I thought, that looks pretty cool, and it was knit in fingering weight wool. But it's supposed to be, I think, a sport weight. I guess it's gonna plump up a little bit whenever it gets wet, but it's super thin, so I just went with it with the same size needle that they said, and hook. It's a H 5mm crochet hook, and I was like, I'll give it a try. So this is what it looks like so far, and this is the crabapple color. And I don't even know who this is for. If my mom or my sister like it, they can certainly have it whenever it's done. But this is what I have, and this is the width. And then you just make it as long as you want, and then there's an edging that you can put on each end with fringe. I don't know if I'll put the fringe or not. Whenever I get closer to that point, I'll see which one of them likes it and if they want fringe or not, and then I'll put it if they want it. But I thought that would be a good, like a summer scarf. I might wear it too. I don't know. I don't usually wear this much bright pink. I do like pink, but in small doses, and this will be a very large dose. I'll see. if one of them likes it a lot, then they can definitely have it. But, and crochet is so fast. I started this day before yesterday. Yeah, I think. Anyway, I only worked on it for maybe an hour or two. Maybe, yeah, probably like an hour. And I've already got, you know, like 4 inches. So that's pretty cool. And I'm hoping it will use up a lot of the yarn. I'll probably just throw it in the washing machine whenever it's in the dryer so it'll soften up because linen's a little stiff. I love linen. I wish I liked knitting with it because I would totally make a bunch of summer t-shirts and things like that out of it because I have a couple of linen shirts that I wear all summer, and it's so hot here. It's perfect, and I love them. I was thinking about I want to try the Quince and Company Kestrel, the one that's like I think it's the Kestrel. It's like a chained ribbon looking linen. So maybe that wouldn't be as hard on my hands. And then also Knit Picks has one that's a blend, I believe, and it's also a Lindy chain where it's a chain, and that one I think is a fingering weight. So I'd like to try both of those, but the Kestrel is really expensive to try. So I would hate to buy a bunch enough to do a t-shirt or something with and then not like knitting with it. Dishwasher. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do about that, but the Knit Picks one I think is a little bit cheaper. I'll have to check. Maybe it might be okay. I don't know. Maybe I can just get one ball and see how I like it, and then try it out. But I think that's all I have. I did made my first order with Quince and Company. I've never tried their yarn. I've been wanting to try it for ever, basically, and I've never been able to see it in person. So it's hard to pick colors online when you've never seen, which I end up doing all the time. But they have so many colors that it just sort of paralyzing. I don't know what to choose. But the Knitting Pipeline podcast, Paula had a coupon code for the month of May, which is almost over. So it was 10% off. So I'm like, well, I just need to try it because, I'm going to get 10% off of whatever I order. So it's a good time to try it. So I went ahead and ordered some chickadee in like what I think is sort of like a reddish brown type color. And I got enough to make the Moto jacket, which is by Hannah Fettig. It's like it mimics a motorcycle jacket, but it's just like a little cardigan that looks like a motorcycle jacket, basically. Because, like I said last time, my sister is taking the Marshall, and so I'm thinking I'll make this for me, but she loves motorcycle jackets, so she'll probably want this one too. But maybe she won't like the color. Anyway, I ordered that, and I'm excited to get that in. Another reason I never ordered from them is because their colors are solid, kind of, not all of them, but most of them are sort of solid, flat colors, and I don't usually enjoy knitting with that, solid. I like tonal or heathered or tweed or something with an interesting texture, and it looks like a very smooth, solid color. So I just find that a little bit boring usually. And they did have some naturals that are heathered looking, which I liked, but they're all. I could have gotten a gray, but anyway, I just went for it with, their colors are very pretty. I like the way they look, so I think it'll be fine. And we shall see. I really like the owl because that has a sort of a texture, even if the color doesn't seem quite as flat. But um, if I like the chickadee, then I'm sure I'll end up ordering something else next time I want to knit a sweater. Um, Christy, we have anything else to say? Can't think of anything else. No, and I don't even know if I have any nature stuff to put in this week. I need to look into that. I might have some flower pictures. We shall see. There have been a lot of snakes out at work. Christy shaking the table. And I'm sure nobody wants to. Some people may want to see snakes, but I'm sure the majority of you don't, because people seem to be freaked out by snakes a lot of the time. So I will not put my snake pictures in there. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and please get in touch if you would like to. And yep, see you next time. Thank you. Bye.